Well, it's great to have Ben with us today from Streetlight in South Australia. And what a rude shock when you feel God challenges you to get outside of the church and take the light. What happened, Ben?
So I was running a youth ministry in a local church in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, and I really started to feel like God was impressing on me how was I actually following Jesus, not just comparing and competing versus other ministries that were around me. And I read in Matthew 5:14-16 that God says that we are the light of the world and not to place our light under a bowl. And I really felt God challenged me, were the four walls of the church becoming my bowl, that I was comfortable shining his light around other Christians and inside the church. But was I aware that God was actually active and alive outside of the four walls of the church, and that he was calling us to be his light bearers outside the four walls and participate in his mission outside of those walls? And so my youth leaders and some other youth pastors around the area and myself started to just prayer walk the streets of our suburb and asking God what he was doing and how could we join in. And that was sort of the beginnings of God calling us out into the streets to shine his light out in the community.
And it's quite amazing, quite an extraordinary story, actually, that now God's led you out, so to speak, or shown you where he's at work on the streets of Adelaide and the things that you're doing with young people. But you're also calling churches and groups to work together, which is just so beautiful as we think about unity in the church and stuff like that. How's that going for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's as much of a challenge as it is a blessing, but it's just an absolute sort of heartthrob for me to see the churches to recognise what Jesus says in John 17 when he prays that we would be as united as he and the Father are, and that the result of that is that the world would know that God sent Jesus and that Jesus loves them. And so I think there's such a importance on the church coming together. Not for their own sake, but for God's sake and for God's glory and for the world's good. So as we come together, currently we've got about 20 to 30 volunteers represented from about 12 different churches coming together each week to meet, love and connect with young people in the street that we meet. And it's just a joy to see them working together.
Amazing. Well, looking forward to really diving into this and hearing all the little intricacies of it all in the full podcast episode. So thanks for your time, Ben.
You're most welcome.